Okay. Shout out to everybody that's already tuned in. Shout out to my couch potatoes on Vigo. I see you. I'm not even gonna wait. We did start a little early today. I'm trying to get back into whenever you start taking your medication again and it makes you sleepy. I'm trying to get back into because I kept forgetting to take my Flexerils. And now I'm getting sleepy again. You know what I mean? When you get that sleepy feeling. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get it popping.
It's
For the Couch Chronicles, where there ain't no fucking limits.
every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday from 8 Central Time. You don't never want to miss a couch. And now we're live every Wednesday and Friday from 9:30 a.m. Central Time. That's every day of the week. Yeah, tune in. You don't want to miss this shit. It's the Couch Chronicles, where they know what? I know you said it.
I'ma stay on my grind. I'ma shine, nobody's gonna stop me now. I'm ever right, I'm the man, and I got the plan. I can't say that I started from the bottom, but I can say that I'm grinding for my mama. I just wanna be successful. Oh, you know, I just wanna be successful. Hey, hey, hey. Not gonna stop till I'm up to the top, and I'm not gonna give up. I'm a phenomenal woman, stronger than most. It's not a joke, don't be fooled by the smile that I am showing the world. I need a spot on the top so I can come clean. You know, just coming up. What is stopping me? I don't know, no, I don't know what is stopping me. What is stopping me? Hey, I don't know, no, I don't know what is stopping me. What is stopping me? But me, you better know I'm gonna be successful. Even if it kills me, I am coming through the door. On your mark, I make my mark. Get ready, set, go. Cause if I made it through the storm, I was meant to go on. They say your worst enemy is yourself, so I will only compete with myself. What is stopping me? I don't know, no, I don't know what is stopping me. I'ma stay on my grind. I'ma shine, nobody's gonna stop me now. I'm hella loud, I'm the man, and I got the plan. I can't say that I started from the bottom, but I can say that I'm grinding for my mama. I just wanna be successful.
That song was called Successful. That was from my very first album, Scars on a Diamond. So if you haven't heard that one before, all you got to do is type in Scars on a Diamond, Janell, and it will pop up anywhere if you are interested in that song. Today's topic today is fuck fentanyl. I do this every month on the couch. Um, Number one, it's to me, I feel like it's an important subject to speak about because, number one, some of our loved ones right now are gone because of fentanyl. So why not talk about it? Why not make other people aware, especially kids, because kids, come on, they on TikTok, they on Facebook, they on everything. So the more we talk about it, the more we make people, including children, whoever may see our lives or our podcast or whatever we're doing when we're speaking about it, hopefully they get something out of it. Hopefully they learn something, how to protect themselves if they, come across a drug that, they don't know what it is, or, hopefully they learn something or keep their eyes peeled because we made them aware. Because we made them aware. You know, a lot of times people are glued to their phones. So why not spread awareness? Spread awareness and also just, put it out there. It's a danger. Not only a danger to our community, but to all communities. It's not just one community being affected by fentanyl, it's all communities. And I don't know if you guys notice, but it's been put in the minority communities. I don't know if you notice, like a, how our local drug dealers, and we know who's the head honcho. Well, if you notice, if you look in the news, a lot of, and they'll even put kingpin from such and such, kingpin from Chicago, Kansas, wherever, arrested with charges of fentanyl distribute. So if they're distributing fentanyl now in our communities where, and I say this all the time, but there's still some of the same crackheads from when I was a kid right now that's still alive. Seriously. Right now, still smoking crack. I'm not saying that they haven't laced crack with fentanyl. I'm saying that these same crackheads know which crack dealers to go to get the crack that they looking for. And now we got this bitch ass fentanyl that's killing everyone. Damn near everyone that it touches now. I'm not going to say everyone that does fentanyl because there are some people that actually choose fentanyl to do as their choice of drug. We've had maybe 2 people on the couch, that explain that that's just the drug that they love. Now, I know sometimes people go to the hospitals and that may be the gate or the gateway of them starting to do fentanyl. You get fentanyl when you have like a major surgery, and a couple of other medical reasons, but maybe that made you want more. I know whenever they give me morphine, I hate the feeling that I get. It's like a feeling I get like right here. And one time I was talking to one of my friends and she was telling me the reason why she likes certain drugs. And she was like, it gives her the same feeling that I get that I don't like. Some people actually like that feeling. And so if they can't find something that gives them that feeling, they're going to find something that's close to that feeling. And everybody knows how strong fentanyl is. Some people actually believe that they can beat the odds and try it and succeed in doing it as a drug. Some people do succeed, but some people actually probably died from thinking that they wouldn't be the one that would die from it. And then also there are people that died from it not knowing that they would be the one that would die from it because they didn't think that, hey, I'm doing this, I'm doing no. They was thinking that they was going to get their drug of choice, but they ended up getting laced or switched with a fakie. Because again, like I say all the time during Fuck Fentanyl, there are really no drug dealers that are out there that care enough to test their product, meaning with a test strip, sometimes they'll use an actual person to test. But how do you know if you got a batch of fentanyl? And now they're more in the minority communities. Not saying that it's not in the rich neighborhoods, but I mean, where do they usually sell drugs on the corner? And nowadays, it's not even about giving somebody or selling somebody the drug that they're looking for. It's about getting what I can to make as much as I can. Nobody is going to say, hey, especially if they're doing it on purpose, especially if they are actually, what's the word I'm looking for? They're actually a person that's just trying to infiltrate your hood. And they might even be a plant from the jump. And that plant was told to come to your hood and find the kingpin and convince him that he needs to shop with you and get your product off of you. Now, however it ended up happening, he took your advice. And now he don't know that you was a plant from the jump, bringing him drugs that he thought was the same drug as his, that you said you got the purest, let's say cocaine, not realizing that the batch that you were told to bring to this kingpin has fentanyl in it. Now, he doesn't know that because he doesn't do his own product. All he knows is he's getting a better deal from this man or woman that came out of nowhere and gave him better product at a better price. Now, a few months gone by, and you still getting this product. The kingpin is still getting this product from this plant that he still don't know is a plant. And then all of a sudden, 6-7 months later, he's getting arrested. And he don't even know what's happening. Then all of a sudden, they go exactly to his stash that nobody knew except for this person that he was getting it from. And the reason why, now, mind you, this is my imagination. This is what I believe, y'all. This is not how it really happened. But there are several kingpins that are literally locked up right now for fentanyl. Now, this ain't the real story. This is just my imagination. Like, this is what I imagine is happening. Because these kingpins were used to selling the same exact drug that they were selling before. Crack, cocaine, heroin. And then now all of a sudden, majority of them now have fentanyl. Now, I know we seen Power and all of that, and they was talking about, they had a scene in there and they was like, hey, in the drug deal game, the times is, now the times is fentanyl, so we gotta go with the times. No, there are some people that really think like that, but imagine how many drug dealers thought that they were getting a fresh batch of pure cocaine, not realizing that it was laced with fentanyl. Now they getting popped by the police, and now it's traces of fentanyl in it. So now you've been distributing fentanyl. You don't even just get a regular charge of distributing heroin or cocaine or, no, fentanyl. There are so many kingpins right now. All you got to do is type in fentanyl news. You're going to see maybe 2, 3, for kingpins that just been arrested for fentanyl. Lots of it. Now, again, maybe they decided that this is what they want to flood the streets with now. But who flooded them? This is the question that I ask every time we do fuck fentanyl. I just don't really believe that there's a regular person that's out there that's flooding the streets with fentanyl. I believe that it's a plant. Somebody's are planted in these areas, and then y'all trying to make it like it's a crisis, like you trying to save us from this fentanyl crisis, not realizing that we're on to you. We're fucking on to I don't know, maybe I'm tripping. Maybe I am. I know y'all probably like, oh yeah, she is tripping. And maybe I am. But I'm on to the government. I'm on to them. Like, y'all think we don't know that y'all flooding our streets with fentanyl? Y'all don't think that we don't know that there are plants? We don't know who these plants are because they so good at fitting in. That's the reason why there's a lot of plants that get all the information that they can before they end up getting whoever they infiltrating popped. They good at what they do. We don't know who it is. It could be your cousin. It could be your mama. It could be somebody next to you right now. But someone, let's not, I know you said the CIA. It's not even, and they try, do y'all remember when Trump was trying to say that it was the Mexicans that brought in all the fentanyl? It's the cartel. That's all he kept. Now, y'all trying to act like, well, some people that don't keep up with politics, they trying to make it like he just all of a sudden is starting to trying to mess with cartel with them. Okay, no, that was already brewing. He was already placing blame. But what it is, I believe, is they was already infiltrating us, and they always need a fall man. They always need one. So now y'all went and started a fucking war. Oh, when y'all really been infiltrating us the whole time. Some of it with our own people. And guess what? Some of our own people would be like, hell yeah, $50 million to infiltrate my own people? Hell yeah, I'll do that. Yes, it's some people that's really doing that right now because they either got sick kids, sick parents, sick something. They trying to do something. Money will have a motherfucker acting funny. Will have a motherfucker turning on anybody. Some people are really, really, really swayed by money. These drug dealers, they might even get told, hey, I ain't even gonna lie, but this batch right here, this got nothing but fentanyl in it. Matter of fact, it might not even be no traces of heroin. It's probably just straight fentanyl. And they like, well, no, they like, hey, yeah, you know what? Give me that. How much you say I could? And then you get it at a better price, and then you making more money. You think they gonna turn that down? That's why there are more people dying from fentanyl, because there aren't more people checking to see if they are selling fentanyl. Some of them don't even know until they get stopped by the police and the police is testing their drugs. Some of them won't even know until they look at their charges. And they like, wait a minute, distribute fentanyl? What you mean distribution of fentanyl? Oh yeah, when we test your drugs, whenever we stopped you, it wasn't just pure cocaine like you said. It was actually fentanyl too. Now, you facing these charges for, and I think if I'm not mistaken, they took the time up if you get caught with fentanyl. They damn near treat it in Oklahoma as if it's a murder. I don't remember if I did this or not, But let's go ahead and give a moment of silence for the ones who didn't make it today. There's so many people that we have lost from fentanyl. Let's give this moment to them. And for whatever someone lost their lives for, whether it was fentanyl, a mental health issue, car wreck, let's give this moment to them. I always like to do a moment of silence, for our people, because man, some of them did not know they was going to die that day. A lot of them. And when you are far gone into your addiction, you don't realize that each day, each time that you get high, it could be your last. And some of you don't even care. You like, hey, fuck that. Like, I'm just trying to get high. And if you've never been an addict, you would never understand. Like, there's some things that I still don't understand because it hasn't been me. It hasn't been my story, if that makes sense. But I've been with an addict before. And I've, even friends, I've had to go through the withdrawals, the anger, the hate, the all of that. Being around someone that's addicted is hard. Especially whenever you feel like you can't help them. And then you get scared because you like any moment could be their last, because you don't know anymore, especially the way they are putting fentanyl in everything. If I was the type of person that was doing drugs or doing pills or something, the fact that not knowing if this pill is the actual pill that I'm looking for, or if it's the pill that can take my life away, would scare me into not even doing it anymore. Like, as much as some of us, a lot of us, we get so overwhelmed with life that we get to the point where we be like, oh my God, like, I don't even want to be here. Like, we say things out of our mouth. And again, words are so powerful. It is. We have to really watch what we say, but we really don't want to die. We want to be breathing as long as we possibly can. Some of us actually want to die a natural death. So it scares some of us into being sober, or it scares some of us into never doing it again. Like, if I know that doing an ecstasy pill could possibly lead me to dying because it could be laced with fentanyl, I'm not going to do it anymore. Ever. I want to be here. I want to be here. So, we want you to be here, and we want you to want to be here as well. We don't know why some people are drug addicts right now. We don't know why they can't shake their habit, but we can be thankful that some of them aren't on fentanyl or haven't been killed by fentanyl. It's scary though, not knowing if our loved ones that are addicted, that's in the streets, if they may or may not get a hold of fentanyl, or if we're going to hear on the news that one of our loved ones or somebody that we know is dead because they were a drug addict. And then we get to wondering, did we do enough? Did I do enough to save this person? Or did I do enough to save my man or my woman or my mom or my dad? Did I do enough to save them? Did I teach them enough about the dangers of fentanyl? Did I scare them enough to not want to do this drug because it might have fentanyl? Did I put it in their head enough? Can we put it in somebody's head enough that is an addict? Because sometimes with addicts, it goes in one ear and out the other. That's because, or that's why we always see a lot of times the addicts go back to their old behaviors. Do they really want the help? We don't know until we see results. It's hard because you don't want to feel like you're somebody's mama, or they daddy, but you want to make them understand that they do have people that love and care about them. And although you are in your addiction, I need you to understand that any moment you can die. Any moment somebody will not give a fuck about you and sell you something that has fentanyl in it. Not because they did it on purpose. They don't know either. Or maybe this was a moment where they was like, you know what, I'm done. Here, you can have this sack. But that sack actually was meant to be theirs. They didn't take it, but they gave it to you. Then you did it, and then you died. You on the floor, dead from that bag of whatever drug it was, because it was laced with fentanyl. Some people's bodies can't take that. Some people do survive, but not everybody survives. Just this much, that ain't even much. It's just, you see that little bitty piece of nail, just that much can kill you. Just that much can kill you. I don't know if you guys remember, there was a story, matter of fact, it was a whole video. It was a police officer. He was arresting a man for no, he stopped the man, and when he stopped the man, he pulled drugs off of him, and he thought that he pulled off meth, and come to find out it was fentanyl. Later on, you'll see another officer's body cam with that same officer. He's passed out on the floor in the bathroom because he actually ended up going to do the fentanyl that he took off the person. Now, I thought it was the same story. I was like, why is it like the same story? I just seen it online. But if you guys just seen the other day, it was an officer that actually died. He stopped, he did it like a regular traffic stop, and the man had fentanyl on him. Well, the officer ingested the fentanyl, and on his way to the precinct, he actually crashed into a tree and died because the fentanyl, he inhaled the fentanyl and died. Now imagine, he didn't even do the fentanyl as just like, hey, I'm about to do drugs and I'm about to do this fentanyl. He didn't do it like that. All he did was a regular traffic stop, and he was getting, patting, in a man down, and come to find out he had fentanyl on him. That fentanyl killed that officer. Killed him. Give me 1 second. My puppies. Yeah. I realized I didn't know what that noise was. I'm so sorry. Okay, guys. I thought the dogs was into something. But the officer was just doing his job. He was doing his job, and he did not imagine, nor did his family imagine, that he would go to work, do a traffic stop, and after he confiscated whatever was on the man, it killed him. Just that little amount that he not even did on purpose. He literally just breathing. Regular breathing, just smelling it, killed him. Because I'm sure it got in his system. And like I said, not everybody's body is strong enough to fight fentanyl. Some people, maybe 1 out of every 1,000 person survives from fentanyl. And just that little bit of amount could overdose you. That little bit of amount. That officer lost his life. Imagine how many other people have lost their lives. Children. Parents have had fentanyl around children. And those children are dead. Because just like that officer that just breathed a little bit of fentanyl killed him. And I'm sure that he didn't even know if it was fentanyl or not. He probably thought it was cocaine or something, or meth, or whatever he might have thought it was. But he had no idea that when he opened it up to see what it was, just like officers are supposed to do, he probably had his gloves on. He did not know that he would be dead today. No one does. Fentanyl has no certain race that it attacks or gets, or that it can kill anyone, any color, any age. So that's why I think it's very important that we use our platform, we use our voice, and speak on the dangers of fentanyl and where it can be. Fentanyl can be in your weed. Fentanyl can be in your shrooms. Fentanyl can be in anything that you get off the streets. Trust nothing that you buy from the streets. I don't give a fuck what it is. I don't care if you like, oh, it's just a little bit of weed. A little bit of weed can have fentanyl on it. Anything that you get off the street, you need to know that you can die from anything that you take from there. Anything. You are not exempt. I don't care how much street smarts you have. I don't care how many people you got that live on the south side, the east side. I don't care if you grew up in this neighborhood. Anywhere that you buy drugs off the streets could possibly be laced with fentanyl, no matter what drug it is. So we have to, again, speak on the dangers of it. Somebody gonna come across this video, they gonna be like, you know what? She right, I'd rather just not do it no more. You know, because I mean, no. We are literally losing people daily from fentanyl. Actually, just today, it was a young woman that was arrested for fentanyl. And I want to say, where was she at? Durant, was it? I think it was. Yep, it was in Durant. It was in Durant. A lady, a few hours, hey goddess. It was a few hours ago, a lady was caught with fentanyl. Fentanyl. She wasn't caught with just fentanyl. She was caught with like 5 guns. And she had her daughter with her. So, of course, it's going to be another charge. She was caught with 6 grams of fentanyl. 6 grams of fentanyl. So, to me, if it's a little bit that they get caught with, to me, that leads me to believe that that might have been her drug.
It's tax season, and at LifeLock, we know you're tired of numbers. But here's a big one you need to hear. Billions. That's the amount of money in refunds the IRS has flagged for possible identity fraud. Now here's another big number. 100 million. That's how many data points LifeLock monitors every second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it guaranteed. One last big number. Save up to 40% your first year. Visit LifeLock.com/podcast for the threats you can't control. Terms apply.